Newz reporter of the New World, or the Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. So this past weekend, you actually had Fossils Free Pen, which is a student organization that actually stormed the homecoming halftime game of University of Pennsylvania to actually demand and protest that University of Penn divest from fossil fuels. And they were also asking that they pay property taxes to provide more income for the local city public schools around them, and to help save a lower income housing project that was near the university. 19 students were actually arrested in their demonstration during homecoming. Green Wall and graduation. Reporter of the New World, or the Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Make sure you check out the graduationparty.org if you want to get yourself or a loved one some high quality, highly affordable, and highly accessible mathematics tutoring as we head into these midterms and finals of these scholastic semesters. Or if you just want to get your mathematics skills right. You want to get your math right, because math is life, you dig? But moving on into the news though, over in Miami-Dade County in Florida, you actually had a court dropping charges against Robert Lee Wood, who actually was arrested back in August by Governor Ron DeSantis' Office of Election Crimes and Security for voting while he actually was a felon. He was claimed to be unaware of this law that basically prevents you from voting. That law has switched around a couple times in Florida, especially since DeSantis has been the governor of the state, rather. Also in Texas, you had a court dismiss charges against Hervis Earl Rogers, who back in 2020 had actually waited 6 hours online to vote for the 2020 primaries. However, he was on parole, and in Texas, voting while you're finishing a sentence, including parole, is a crime that's punishable by up to 20 years in prison. So those charges were dropped. It's looked at as a win for those who are trying to push back against what's seen as voter intimidation. Now, in similar news, over in Arizona, in Maricopa County, you have investigators looking into a situation of voter intimidation where you had 2 men, masked and armed, actually monitoring these ballot boxes during Friday. So this actually is during a time where there's early voting going on in a lot of states. And you already know what team they was probably playing for in the political aisle, you know what I'm saying? Because that sounds like a MAGA Republican move, don't it? But, prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. You know what I'm saying? All this talk about election fraud and security. What side does it normally end up on? You know what I'm saying? I'm just talking about the facts, because I don't give a fuck about the left or the right wing. That's why I'm running for president, you know what I'm saying? But I'm going to get into that later, though. Green Wall and graduation. Reporter of the New World, or the Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. Make sure you check out the graduationparty.org if you want to get yourself or a loved one some high quality, highly affordable, and highly accessible mathematics tutoring. This is our virtual tutoring platform where you could be schooled by somebody like myself, who has 15 plus years of mathematics tutoring experience, all types of degrees and things of that nature in mathematics and science, or by someone else who actually qualifies to do so. Now, moving on to the news. Steve Bannon, former owner of Breitbart News, former political advisor to Donald J. Trump. You know what I mean? The guy who was basically urging him to say that he won the election, whether he was going to win or not, or whatever. This man has actually been charged in federal court for criminal contempt of Congress, and has been fined $6,500 and 4 months in prison. This is for not adhering to a subpoena that was issued to him last year for the January 6th House Committee, essentially. Now, he's going to appeal, and he remains free from now, but if he does end up if his appeal fails, he ends up going to jail. He'd be the first person in over half a century to actually be jailed for criminal contempt of Congress. Now, a lot of y'all Republicans might take this and be like, oh, see, this only happening because of Trump. This is such a unique thing. No, the part that's unique is that people don't go in contempt of Congress. People don't even want to go in contempt of regular court, a local court, you know what I'm saying? But you're talking about contempt of Congress, that's not no regular fucking thing. Just because it happened over a dozen times under Trump. And it might even happen, you know what I mean, I'm assuming it happened more than a dozen or whatever. It might have happened a couple dozen, or it might have less. Don't quote me on that part, but know that unusual action brings about the unusual reaction. You dig? Green War and Graduation of the New World Order. Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So the House January 6th committee actually officially delivered the subpoena to former President Donald Trump for him to testify on November 14th, as well as hand over some documents. Now, the committee actually handed over a letter along with the subpoena that basically said that they have overwhelming evidence gathered from his former appointees and staff that he orchestrated a multi-part attempt to overturn the 2020 presidential election and essentially block a peaceful transition of power, or obstruct a peaceful transition of power, rather. Now, you also have Axios, the news site. They actually reported that a former White House lawyer actually warned Trump about signing legal documents claiming that there was voter fraud taking place because, you know, it just straight up wasn't true. Why does MAGA continue to make excuses for Donald Trump lying about the 2020 presidential election, even after seeing all of the aftermath from this? Over 800 people were arrested from that January 6th Capitol riot. People, you can't blame it all on Antifa and then say Donald Trump has no culpability. I'm not partisan, but this is just ridiculous. We gotta grow up. We gotta get smarter, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm Brandon Sipman. I'm Bishop Grady going for the Graduation Party. I'm running for president 2024. We gotta smarten up so we're not making the same mistakes as we did in the past, y'all. Green War and Graduation, though. This report of the New World Order. Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So on Saturday, you had former President Donald Trump actually having a Republican rally and in Texas, and he actually repeated his claims about the 2020 election being stolen. And he was, you know, talking shit about the subpoena and, you know, basically going against it or whatever. But he was basically saying that, you know, the election was rigged and stolen, and, you know, now our country is being destroyed. In order to make the country, you know, safe and glorious again, I'll probably have to run again, essentially is what he said. So Donald Trump running for 2024. Joe Biden has actually been called out saying that he will likely run for president again in the 2024 election. You got Kanye running, and you also got editor-in-chief of Black Fox News, Bishop Grady, running for president of the United States for the 2024 election. So make sure you write me in that ballot. A lot of everybody I mentioned, you know what I mean, they playing with billionaire pockets and all of that. You already know this is the voice for the people, you know what I'm saying? So if you really want the people to win, you'll write Bishop Grady into that election ballot. But stay tuned, I got more for y'all on that front. And until then, I'm gonna just keep reporting the news to y'all. And y'all know if I'm telling y'all the news, then I actually know what's going on. And this is nonpartisan news that you're getting from the kid, you dig? Green War and Graduation, though. For the New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. You got the White House actually saying that you need to continue to submit applications for that federal student loan debt relief plan that Joe Biden had been talking about for a couple months now. It actually went live last week. However, this past Friday, an appeals court had actually temporarily blocked the plan from going out in place. This comes as there are 6 Republican-led states that are arguing that Joe Biden overstepped his authority when starting this student loan debt relief initiative. But you had Biden, you know, talking good about the plan when he was speaking to students at Delaware State University, talking about how, like, you know, in just under a week, 22 million Americans actually submitted their information for this life-changing plan, and 40 million Americans stand to benefit from the plan. So same time, you have 700,000 student loan borrowers that are actually left out of the plan because they had their loans from private lenders instead of the United States Department of Education. Now there's an initiative in the plan, and you know they're asking to be included in the plan. However, the plan itself does allow for private loan owners to actually get up to $10,000 in student debt relief. But it's up to $20,000 for those who actually have borrowed money from the United States Department of Education. So everybody stay woke. Might as well put them applications in. You know what I'm saying? I know I did. I still got student loans out here. You know, shit is real. Green War and Graduation. News reporter of the New World Order, Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Files News report. So over in Burkina Faso, you actually had last week the second military overthrow and coup take place in the last 8 months. And the leader of the latest military coup and presidential overthrow was Ibrahim Traore, who was actually just sworn in as the country's interim president. Now, the country itself is facing a lot of political instability, obviously, but they also have a jihadist extremist problem, you know, a jihadist insurgency problem. You know, for those who know, are familiar, committing jihad, you know, you're basically sacrificing yourself in the name of Islam. You're sacrificing yourself to whether it means like you murdering yourself, and you know that come in the form of you know, blowing yourself up in order to hurt the enemy and win the holy war. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of jihadist insurgency that they're saying there, as well as humanitarian deterioration. 5 million people said to be living there in need of emergency assistance. So everybody stay woke, keep the people in your positive thoughts and prayers. There are people over there too, you know what I mean? Green War on graduation though. News reporter of the New World Order, Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Files News report. Over in Iran, you actually have teachers that are on a 2-day strike. You have labor unions actually striking all across the country in the food and oil industries. This is all coming as like anti-government feelings are like growing, you know what I'm saying? People are finding solidarity with people who are just like anti the Iranian government right now. Now this is not time for Americans to be like, see, look at them over there, see, they're way worse than we are, you know, they deserve the treatment they get. Well, mind you, Iran is actually facing a economic crisis as well that obviously goes along with the humanitarian crisis that have out there ever since the September 16th death of Kurdish woman Mahsa Amini while in custody of the morality police, apparently arrested for not wearing her hijab properly. This is a country that the United States continues to sanction and beat up. So stay woke, y'all. Green War on graduation.